Hi, welcome back to Tammy Talks About. So, I'm getting ready to go to my regular everyday job, but I found this article that I thought you and I could read together. So, before we jump into it, you know the drill by now. If you like this video, leave me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, let me know what you think about what they say in this article. And of course, as always, feed that pesky algorithm and share this video, as Doug says. And you know, too, if you're not subscribed here, please consider subscribing. This is a journey I'm taking, and I feel like that this is our channel, and we're taking this journey together. So I'd love to have you along for the trip. All right, let's get into it. And yes, that was so cringeworthy. I get it. But you know what? I gotta do it. I am like sitting right at nearly 600 subscribers. So basically 401 or 2 more subscribers, and I'd get this channel monetized. So that would be really amazing. I'm not gonna lie and say that I don't want to be monetized. I would love to be monetized. It's really, I love doing this, and to get paid for it on top of it would be amazing. So, if you would like to, I'd love to have you subscribe. So let's do this. All right, so this is in the Telegraph, and it was written July 30th of 2021. And the title is, Can Johnny Depp Bounce Back? I think, now I don't read the Telegraph on a regular basis, but I don't think they've done a lot of positive articles on him, if I'm not mistaken, and I may be wrong, and you can correct me, and we'll find out as we go. But I think this might be owned by the same company as The Sun. I'm not 100% positive. This is a UK magazine, and even though I am a huge lover of all things British, I don't know a lot about this magazine. Oh, and huge shout out to my very good friend Keely from over at Keely Talks. Mwah, love you. All right. He was the box office king, but then his marriage to age imploded and accusations of DV swirled. Can he come back? Dramatic reading. It feels pretentious now watching Johnny Depp and Edward Scissorhands, seeing the peculiar tenderness he brought to a role that turned him from an 80s heartthrob into a 90s indie icon, and earned him his first major awards nomination, a Golden Globe for Best Actor. In Edward Scissorhands in 1990, Depp plays a fragile loner whose strangeness makes him captivating, yet ultimately isolates him. It was a part for which Depp seemed destined, although weirdly, Tim Burton wanted Tom Cruise to play it, propelling him from other roles as eccentric outsiders that came to define him. In What's Eating Gilbert Grape, oh God, I love that movie, 1993, Ed Wood in 1994, and Donnie Brasco in 1997. He was sealed in the public imagination as a wounded hero, personifying the 90s grunge backlash against 80s pop. For biographer Michael Blitz, Depp encapsulated an era, and that is true, the curious byproduct of conflicting forces in American popular culture, and to a lesser extent, European pop culture. On screen, Depp played misunderstood outsiders, amplified off-screen by his wild child image. His reputation for heavy drinking and rumored drug-taking later saw him confess to Rolling Stone, "I spent years poisoning myself. I was very, very good at it." His dysfunction seemed bound to his relationships. He was engaged to Winona Ryder within 5 months of meeting her, having Winona Forever tattooed on his bicep, later amended to Wino Forever. He dated supermodel Kate Moss, being arrested for vandalizing a hotel room where they were staying, causing £8,000 worth of damage. And let me just preface that right there. Some places like to bring that up. The thing is that instead of ever putting a hand on her in an argument when he was upset, and I forget exactly what it was about, he would never harm a fly. But inanimate objects, we've all done it. So, just my little 2 cents there. He only seemed to find some stability when he met in 1998 longtime partner Vanessa Paradis, who wrote love letters to him in French L, They had 2 children, Lily Rose, now 22, and Jack, now 19. Actor Greg Ellis, who has known Depp since their children attended the same preschool and kindergarten in L.A., describes him as humble, down-to-earth, funny, generous, a wonderful dad. In 2003, as Lieutenant Theodore Groves, Ellis appeared with Depp in Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl. It was Depp's first outing as Captain Jack Sparrow, who he based on Rolling Stones guitarist Ronnie Wood. Jack Sparrow is a piece of cinematic history, says Ellis. To play an effeminate, drunk, bejeweled pirate was risky, but it worked. It turned Depp into the megastar of a blockbuster brand. Pirates earned Depp his first Oscar nomination and over 5 installments, a reported $300 million. By 2010, when Depp commanded $55 million for Alice in Wonderland, he was one of Hollywood's highest-paid actors. Oops, sorry, I went a little bit too far. Yet now, over a decade later, the 58-year-old's career seems to have crashed amid the bitter divorce, allegations of DV from his ex-wife A.H., and a devastatingly public libel trial that labeled him, well, you know what they labeled him. He has been dropped from film projects, with his latest movie, Minamata, a biopic of photographer Eugene Smith, being released on August 13th with a fizzle, and, it's unclear if this is Depp's comeback or swan song. And let me just quickly say it. I'm going to leave a link to it in the description along with a link to this article. Kevin Eugene Smith, Mr. Smith's son, has a petition on change.org to get MGM to stop burying this film. So, if you will, then this is the United States, so if you will, please go sign that. I've already linked a UK in a previous video, and if you will, please go sign that petition. All right, anyway, back to the article. Some might suggest that Depp's career had long been on the downturn. He had flops with The Tourist in 2010, Dark Shadows in 2012, and The Lone Ranger in 2013. For some fans, the actor's downfall began in 2009 when he met A.H., 23 years his junior, on the set of The Rum Diary. Within 3 years, Depp and Parody had split. By 2015, Depp and Heard were wed. Just 15 months later, they filed for divorce amidst stories of a tumultuous and toxic relationship, with A.H. accusing Depp of DV and obtaining a TRO against him. Oh, gosh. My computer does that all the time. Let's see. Depp fans refused to believe the allegations. His team denied them. Pointedly, a joint statement released in 2016 when Depp and A.H. reached a $7 million divorce settlement read, Our relationship was intensely passionate and at times volatile, but always bound by love. There was never any intent of physical or emotional harm. Well, it was with her. It was a message confused by reports that A.H. would donate a chunk of her settlement to a domestic violence charity. She was supposed to donate the entire $7 million. Anyway, and the subsequent op-ed she wrote for the Washington Post about DV. In it, she described how she felt the full force of our culture's wrath for women who speak out. No women who lie. I'm sorry. An article over which Depp is now bringing a $50 million libel suit. But the pivotal moment came in 2018 when a 2018 column published in The Sun's questioned Depp's casting in Fantastic Beasts, calling him, well, you know what. For Depp, a line had been crossed. When your son is coming home in tears because he's been bullied about never-ending news stories about his father's alleged violent behavior, I think a parent, particularly a father, gets to a point where you've had enough and say, I have to take a stand now, says Greg Ellis. Depp has 2 kids. They look at social media. They're aware of outrageous things that are written. I think for his kids' sake, for their futures, so he could look them in the eye and say, I tried. He felt he had to take a stand and say enough was enough. And I agree totally. Depp brought a defamation case against the Sun. It was a move international media law specialist Mark Stevens of firm Howard Kennedy describes as self-immolation. He explains in such libel cases are extremely rare because they carry such a huge reputational risk. Even if you win on legal merit, you lose the reputational war. Defamation cases attract what is known as the Streisand effect, named after Barbara Streisand's attempt to suppress photographs of her Malibu home, which only publicized them further. Bringing this case meant attracting the attention of every single journalist worldwide. You're going to ignite an explosion, says Gary Farrow, one of Britain's best-known entertainment publicists, whose clients have included Sir Elton John. Footage of you at court is going to be all over every TV station. It's going to be forever associated with you. Yeah, and it doesn't help either when the press purposefully ignore facts in this case and purposely have their lips tattooed to her behind, her nasty behind. And we're going to kind of, we're going to kind of skip over the rest of this because this is a very long article and what I'm seeing is ticking me off. Depp's biographer Blitz says he's a brilliant actor. Some say that he is nearly always acting, whether on or off screen. Yeah, he is a brilliant actor. And this goes over the trial and seeing that's the thing. During the case, Depp revealed his abuse of alcohol, marijuana, MDA, magic mushrooms, and cocaine, and dire financial mismanagement, which this is just another one of those articles, which I'm just scanning over it now, that basically is a character assassination of A.H. Oh, noting the similarities of how rape. This is an article that's yet another one. That's what I thought. It's just kissing her butt, and it's making Johnny out to be this monster, basically. I mean, I've got to read the rest of the article, but I will, and I'll leave a link to it, and you can read the rest of the article. And if I'm wrong, I'll admit to it. But it just seems to be another one of these pieces that makes her out to be this poor victim and him out to be the monster. So, that's what I thought. Well, what did you think about what we read? I mean, at least what we read wasn't that bad, because I'll just be honest with you, what I seen scanning through it just now, it basically, you heard the part I read about the drugs. They made sure to list every single, instead of saying he confessed to drug abuse. No, they have to list them. Because, you see, perception, when you're reading that, you're more likely going to remember, oh yeah, that's the guy that did that. That's the guy that did that. That's that guy that was on that. They knew what they were doing. This was it's a hit piece. That's all it is. It's a hit piece. So, which is what most of the mainstream media does. And that's why places that tell the truth, channels on YouTube, which seems to be about the majority of the only places telling the truth, are so extremely important. You've got to share these videos. You've got to share any article that tells the truth, because the thing is your average person who's not following this case, they're only seeing things like that crap. And they are not aware of the basic torture he was put through by this woman and is still being put through, which I know I'm sure he's not being bothered by it. But you know that somewhere deep in his heart, he is bothered by it. So, yeah. Okay, I'm going to end the video here, and hopefully we will find something more positive to do in the next video. I always try to end these with the same thing of hoping that you're blessed until the next time. And I do mean that. I hope you have a wonderful, beautiful day. Enjoy your weekend, wherever you are. And of course, be truly blessed until the next time. Thank you.